The modern international airport is divided into two very different worlds. The first world is what we see: check-in counters, duty-free shops, and friendly flight attendants. But the second world begins the moment those aircraft doors open at your destination. That long corridor leading to customs and immigration is not a service area. It is the outer perimeter of federal law enforcement. In 2026, the rules at these checkpoints have changed. Officers are no longer just scanning your passport, they are using advanced behavioral detection to scan for hesitation, confusion, and specific words that, even if they're true, can get you flagged. We are seeing a massive rise in compliant travelers, seniors just like you, being pulled into secondary screening rooms. These aren't criminals. They are simply people who gave honest answers that contained the wrong keywords. Today, we are going to dissect the 7 questions that determine your entry. I'll show you why being too honest can look like a crime, and how a single word can mean the difference between a stamp in your passport and a 4-hour interrogation. Chapter 1: The Narrative Trap. The interview usually begins with the most deceptive question in the officer's arsenal: what is the purpose of your visit? This is not small talk. It is a consistency check. The most common error I see travelers over 60 make is over-explaining. For example, a retired couple landing in Florida might say, "We're visiting our daughter, we haven't seen her in 2 years, and we might look at some real estate while we're here to see if we want to move closer to the grandkids." In your mind, this is a friendly conversation. In the officer's mind, the phrase, "look at real estate," is a massive red flag for immigration intent. It implies you want to stay permanently or work illegally. The mention of "haven't seen her in 2 years" suggests you might be too emotional to leave when your time is up. The protocol: use what I call data minimization. Your answer should be a single noun. Tourism. Visiting family. Cruising. That is all. This leads directly into the second trap: how long are you staying? In 2026, ambiguity is treated as a risk. If you say, "Oh, maybe a few weeks, we're playing it by ear," you are triggering an overstay risk. I recall a case where a retired couple jokingly said they'd stay as long as their money held out. The officer did not laugh. That couple spent 3 hours in a back room proving they had enough money to leave. The correct response: you must provide a hard date. "I am staying until March 15th. Even better, I have a return flight confirmed for March 15th. This date is your contract with the government. It proves you have a plan to go home. Chapter 2: The Logistics of Credibility. Once they know why you're there, they move to logistics. Question 3: Where will you be staying? This is an address verification check. The failure point here for many seniors is technological reliance. If you say, "It's on my phone," or "I'm staying with a friend, let me find the email," you are in trouble. If your battery is dead or you can't get a signal, you effectively have no legal place to sleep. To an officer, this looks like a vagrancy risk. The strategy: paper is your best friend. Before you fly, write the full address, including the zip code, on a physical piece of paper. Handing over a hard copy shows you are organized, compliant, and have nothing to hide. This leads to question 4: are you traveling alone? If you are a solo traveler, they are screening for vulnerability or exploitation. If you start sharing a tragic story, like "my husband passed away and I'm lonely," it triggers a vulnerability assessment. They now have to determine if you are mentally competent to travel alone. If you are in a group, this is a trap for inconsistency. I've seen a husband say they were staying for 2 weeks, while the wife, standing right next to him, said 3 weeks. It was a simple slip of the tongue, but they were separated and interrogated for 90 minutes. The rule: sync your story before you land. Agree on the headline of your trip. If you are a couple, you are a single unit with one narrative. Chapter 3: The Biological Firewall. Perhaps the most expensive mistake in travel involves question 5: are you bringing any food? In our minds, food means a meal, a sandwich or a snack. In the eyes of Customs and Border Protection, food is biological contraband. An apple. A bag of beef jerky. Even a box of tea leaves. In 2026, biosecurity is a top priority. The fines are brutal: $300 for an undeclared apple, up to $1,000 for meat products. I know of a traveler who brought tea leaves as a gift and checked "No" on the form because he thought tea was a dry good. A beagle sniffed the bag, and he was fined $450 for a false declaration. The protocol: when in doubt, declare it. If you have a granola bar, say, "Yes, I have a granola bar." The officer will almost always wave you through. If you hide it and get caught, you are no longer a tourist, you are a smuggler. Chapter 4: The Economic Filter. The final hurdles are economic. Question 6: Do you have anything to declare? Many seniors believe that if they bought an item for personal use, they don't have to mention it. This is wrong. If you bought a $1,500 handbag or a nice watch abroad, it counts toward your duty-free allowance. If you don't declare it and they find it, you'll be fined on top of the taxes. The question isn't, "Are you selling this?" The question is, "Did you buy this abroad?" And finally, the most subtle trap for a retiree: what do you do for work? This is a test for illegal labor. If you simply say, "I'm retired," and stop talking, the officer might hear, "I have no job, no responsibilities, and no reason to go home." The correct framing: anchor yourself to your home country. Say, "I am retired and I receive my pension in Ohio." Or, "I am retired and I'm returning to my grandchildren in 2 weeks." One warning: never mention consulting, checking emails, or remote work. A retired professor was once detained for mentioning he was consulting on some research while traveling. To him, it meant answering emails. To the officer, it meant working without a visa. Conclusion: the border is a place where words have permanent consequences. In 2026, officers are trained to find the one thing that doesn't fit the pattern. Your goal is not to be interesting, your goal is to be boringly consistent. Successful travel today depends on 3 principles. 1. Brevity. Never volunteer information that wasn't asked. 2. Documentation. Have your return ticket and address printed in your hand. 3. Clarity. Know your dates, declare your food, and define your purpose in one word. When you approach that booth, you are a witness to your own intent. Testify clearly. Check your travel documents right now. If you want to know about the new 2026 rules for traveling with medications, and how to avoid having your pills confiscated, watch my next video right here. Subscribe to join our community of fearless senior travelers. I'll see you at the gate.